Hi friends, yesterday or in the previous class we started the lesson with the introduction and we discussed another one topic. So I will just summarize the things that we discussed in the previous class. We started with the basic difference between weather and climate. I hope you're all now clear with the terms weather and climate. Weather, as you know, it's a prevailing atmospheric condition of a small place for a shorter period of time and it changes from place to place and time to time. On the other hand, climate takes a long time to change. It's actually a calculated measurement. I hope you're all familiar with this. Then another thing that we saw is the climate of India. What is the climate of India? So we have seen that the climate of India is monsoon type of climate, and I think you're all clear with the definition now. It indicates tropical indicates the location of the country. Monsoon, we know what monsoon is. It's a periodical seasonal wind. So the climate of India is tropical monsoon climate, and you know why it is tropical monsoon climate. So I think you're all clear with this thing. Then other thing that we discussed yesterday was the regional variations in climate. So on the same day within India, we have different climate at different weather conditions at different places. Say for example, take the month of June. When it is heavily raining in Kerala, Delhi, may have a temperature somewhere around 45-46 degrees Celsius, and at the same time in Jammu and Kashmir, somewhere like this place, that is Zojila Pass, the temperature would be almost 10 degrees Celsius or very low. So since we have a vast country with diverse relief features, altitudinal variations, and other 10 factors which you have studied, we have a lot of variations in our climate. I, we have discussed this also in the previous class. And another last topic that we discussed yesterday was the factors that affect the climate of India. We saw 10 different factors which affect the climate of India. Now, directly we are moving to the next topic. And today's topic is the monsoon. What is monsoon? What this phenomenon is? And what is the mechanism? How it works? How it influences the country? What is the role played by monsoon? We are going to see this one topic today. So what is monsoon? As your textbook says, monsoons are periodic seasonal winds. Everything is clear from that term itself, periodic seasonal wind. Moreover, we have studied the same topic in 9th standard last year. So they develop because of differential heating as well as the cooling of land and sea. There are two types of monsoon winds, summer monsoon and winter monsoon. We know the fact that land gets heated faster than the water bodies, and therefore always there is a difference in heating of land and water, and this creates a difference in atmospheric pressure conditions. So because of this we have different atmospheric pressure conditions at different places, and we know that wind will always blow from an area with high atmospheric pressure to an area with low atmospheric pressure. So before we go to this topic, that is monsoon, you should keep two things in mind. One is about wind, that wind always blow from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. And the second thing that you want to know is the Coriolis force. Again, you are clear with the topic, you know what it is. So Coriolis force is a force that diverts any freely moving objects like wind towards right side in the northern hemisphere and towards left side in the southern hemisphere. I think you have studied this in 9th standard, maybe in 7th standard or 6th standard, so I think you are clear with this. So I hope you know what wind and Coriolis force are, and now we have the topic monsoon. So within monsoon we can see two types of monsoon. One is the summer monsoon and other one is the winter monsoon. So at any point of time, if this thing is not clear, you can pause the video and you can rewind it and hear again. So that is the benefit of online classes. So I hope you are all sitting with a book and a pen. So at any point of time, if it's not clear, you pause it, rewind it. Not only that, you pause the video in between and note down the things. Everything is there in your textbook, but it is better to write down the things on time. So we'll go to the topic summer monsoon directly. Summer monsoon originates from the southern part of India, that is from the Indian Ocean. So around April, May, that means towards the beginning of summer, you know that the sun, that is the overhead sun, will be in the northern hemisphere. By summer solstice, overhead sun will reach directly above the Tropic of Cancer. So because of this uh, northward movement of the sun, northern hemisphere or the northern part of India will get heated up much more higher than the southern part, that is the Indian Ocean. So by the end of April or by the beginning of May, the northwestern part of India, that is the areas over Pakistan and the states like Rajasthan, Punjab and all, will have an extreme high temperature and a low pressure system. And at the same time, in the southern part of India, that is in the Indian Ocean, the temperature is comparatively lower because sun is in the northern hemisphere, so a high pressure system develops in the southern part. So once the high pressure and low pressure system develops in north and summer respectively, now the wind will start blowing from the high pressure system in the south towards the low pressure system in the north. So due to Coriolis force, when they start blowing from the southern hemisphere, they are tilted towards their left side. We can see here below the line equator, they are tilted towards the left side, and once they cross the equator, again due to Coriolis force, now they are in the northern hemisphere, they are diverted towards their right side. Actually, they want to reach the low pressure system here in the northwest, but due to Coriolis force, they are diverted towards the right side. Now the wind will move in a southwesterly direction. If you see, they are coming from the southwest direction, right? So it moves from southwest to northeast, and you can see wind is blowing over the vast Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. On its way to the low pressure, it carries huge amount of moisture, and whenever and wherever it is blocked by a mountain, say for example Western Ghats here, on the windward side it sheds huge amount of rainfall. And further, as it moves towards the north, we can see one branch is here in Bay of Bengal. So it goes directly towards the northeast and it hits the Arakanayama mountains in Myanmar. There also it gives heavy rainfall, but it cannot cross the mountain. Not only that, low pressure is here in the west side, so wind will now start turning its direction towards northwest. So this is the path of the summer monsoon. It starts from the southern part of the Indian Ocean. Then once it crosses the equator, it becomes southwesterly in direction. So after hitting the Arakanayama mountains or the northeastern hills, it will now move towards the low pressure system in the northwestern part of India. So on its way, wherever there is mountains or any other kind of obstructions, it will give rainfall. Not only that, here also Coriolis force is there. It has a tendency to move towards the right. So it will try to climb up the Himalayan mountains on its path. Thus, the Himalayan region also gets heavy rainfall because Himalayas act as a barrier. So on the windward side, windward side of Himalaya, that is the North Indian plain, will receive heavy rainfall during this season. And by the end of the summer season, the low pressure system will start moving downward, southward. As the sun moves southward, low pressure system also moves southward. Slowly, the summer monsoon will become weakened. So throughout this time period, for about 3 to 4 months, the entire Indian subcontinent will receive huge rainfall. This heavy rainfall, that is around 70% of the rainfall is received only within this 3-4 months. So this is what is called as summer monsoon. Now, let's see what is the next one. That is the winter monsoon. As the sun reaches the southern hemisphere, the situation reverses. Right now, the sun is in the southern hemisphere. Sorry, I made a mistake here. In the north, it is not low pressure; it will be high pressure, and here it will be low pressure. So the situation reverses. The northern part of the India now will have a high pressure, and the southern part will have a low pressure. Now the wind will start blowing from the high pressure in the north to the low pressure in the south. Here you can see they are coming from northeast direction. Therefore, it is called as northeast monsoon. Not only that, they are originating from the land area and they are not carrying any moisture, or they are carrying very less amount of moisture. Therefore, these winds are comparatively dry. They cannot give rainfall. Right? So the situation reverses. Now the sun is in the southern hemisphere, so there is a low pressure in the southern part of the Indian Ocean. So you have to read this as low pressure. I made a mistake accidentally, and this as high pressure. So now wind will blow from high pressure to low pressure. So wind is now starting from the north and it is going towards the south. But here it's originated from the land and carries very less amount of moisture or no moisture. Therefore, it cannot give much rainfall. But you can see only in this area, only in this much part, the wind blows over the ocean and it reaches the land here. So this is the coromandel coast, and we know that we have eastern Ghats here. So when the wind reaches the coromandel coast, the the eastern Ghats act as a barrier, and it can give orographic rainfall. So only the coromandel coast can get little amount of rainfall during winter monsoon. Again, it will continue for another 4 months. So until the sun come back to the northern hemisphere, the same situation will continue. So this is what is called as winter monsoon, right? So it's very easy. You need to study only one at a time. So automatically the other thing can can be understood, because one is the reverse of the other thing. Only thing you have to take care of few things. In summer monsoon, low pressure is here in the north and high pressure in the south. And in winter monsoon, high pressure in the north, not low pressure, and low pressure in the south. And the situation changes. In summer monsoon, wind is starting from or originating from the ocean, therefore it can give rainfall. And in winter monsoon, wind is originating from the land, therefore it cannot give rainfall. So these are the two basic differences between summer monsoon and winter monsoon. Further ahead, the chapter is again discussing about the mechanism of monsoons. So we'll study that. We'll study some more details about the monsoon in the coming classes. So thank you, and if you have any doubt, come back to our WhatsApp group. We'll discuss it there.